to device. Just 1 minute. Oof. I think I don't like this. I'm gonna come back 1 minute. Giving it to me this way. I don't know if I want to do it this way. Anyways. Yay. How are you doing? I'm just sitting here in the car. I just thought, why don't I just do a quick talk with you guys? How are you doing? Long time no see, no hear. It's been a while. Yeah, I just want to talk about the day I stopped seeking validation. That was the day I started to breathe. For over a month now, I've lost my voice. Or my voice is not really back to what it used to be. And I don't know what to do. I came to see my doctor, explained to him, and he said, viral infections, it can take a while before it goes. So I'm just waiting for this viral infection to go so that I can have my voice back and stop having phlegm in my throat all the time. I just want to tell you a quick story about validation seeking. It can be very, very, very destructive. I always say that the day I stopped seeking validation is the day I began to breathe. Someone will say, how? When you are always seeking for validation, it keeps you like almost in a cage. You kind of struggle to breathe. You always are conscious about how you are doing, what you are saying, how you are behaving, and you're not really yourself. And when you're not yourself, you don't really enjoy yourself because it's not, your personality is just hidden, and you're trying not to offend people, you're trying to please people, you're trying to be what people expect you to be. Like you're in this kind of little box of what do people think about what I'm going to say, what will people think about how I'm going to react, and you are losing a part of yourself. But me, a time came in my life where I decided that no, I'm done trying to seek for validation. I'm done trying to please people, to speak the way people expect me to speak. And for me, I felt it was like a breath of fresh air. I was able to breathe. I was able to express myself better. I just became more of myself. In the past, I would measure myself. It started from when I was a little girl. As a PK, you grew up in a community where everyone is watching you in church, in the neighborhood, and people always say, you're a pastor's kid, you're not supposed to do this. You're a pastor's kid, you're not supposed to say this. You're a pastor's kid, you're not supposed to talk like this. And you are wondering, how should a pastor's kid talk? How should I react as a pastor's kid? Forgetting that they forget that you're just a child trying to express yourself, and you grew up like that. I'm a pastor's kid, I'm a pastor's kid at the back of your head, and you don't just release yourself. You just want to, hi, Claudian Costa Ferreira. Hi, welcome. It's just my little chit chat here. I'm just nothing special, just chit chatting, just expressing myself. And I believe that somebody's going to get something from this, because I believe anytime I come here and I talk, someone always gets something. There's always something you can learn from people's life experience or people's stories that could, you could add to your own life and in your toolbox to help you going. So as a PK, that's pastor's kid, you always measure your worth. Hi, Jana Zamnan, welcome. You always measure your worth by what people say, people's reaction. You're scared of what they're going to say to your parents, to the leadership. You want to measure up to being the right PK, the right pastor's kid. You want to measure up to be what they expect you to be. Sometimes it helps you, yes. But most times it just kind of modifies who you really are. Cameron, welcome. Hi, Cameron. Cameron Wells. Welcome, welcome. Hi, hi, hi. How are you doing? Um, thank you. Thank you for stopping by. So you just want to measure yourself with how they react. If they praise you, you feel confident. Yes, I did it. I met up. I've done what they expect me to do. I've acted the way they expect me to act. And if they frown at you, you feel, oh no, I've done what is wrong. I failed in my duties or position as a PK. And it's easy to just lose yourself. It's easy to just no longer be yourself. And you grow up like that, conscious, overly self-conscious of how you're behaving and how your reactions or your actions is going to go back to tarn the image of your parents. Hi, Marcus Rollins, welcome. To tarn the image of or the ministry of your parents, to tarn the work of God. And many children from Christian homes are just not themselves for a very long time. And maybe sometimes they have this click out and they're like, no, I'm not going to do this anymore. Maybe they go far away from their family and they decide to let their real self come out. You have questioned yourself for so long. You have denied yourself of just being yourself for so long. And this is me saying that you can be a Christian and still be yourself. Okay. I'm not saying that my faith or my relationship with God is based on what people think. This is just me. And that's why for me, I was like considered like almost like the rebellious pastor's kid, because I quickly broke off of that. No, I'm not going to pretend to believe when I don't believe. So a long time I would always say no. And that's when I became a teenager. I was more, I tried to go the rebellious way, and I would rebel, I want to go against what they expect me to do. And I didn't totally go out of my way to become, extremely like a bad kid. I wasn't a bad kid, but where other kids will keep quiet and maybe murmur and express themselves only among themselves, among places that they feel is safe for them to really be themselves, I would ask the questions that I think I should ask, that's burning in my heart, burning in my at the back of my head. I would just ask it, like, why would you say this? Why do you think, like I would say, why should I, as a pastor's kid, why should I be born again? Like, is it, if I don't believe yet, why is it by force? I always ask those kind of questions. Hi, hi, Plaxo, Janath. Hi, Janath Zaman. Hi, everyone. So I'll ask those questions. I'll ask, where did God come from? How did God exist? If you say God created all of these things, but who created God? I'll ask all those kind of questions. I'll always ask people why. Why should I do this? Or why should I do that? Why do you think that I should react this way? Why do you say that I should do this way? Why should we follow the New Testament? I mean, the Old Testament, because, in the Old Testament, they did this, they did that. Why should we behave like this if this was a law that was given to the Jews? All those kind of questions I'll ask. Sometimes some people will give me the right answers that I feel is logical and will make sense to me. Some people I just feel, I would do like, that in my mind, like, oh, just keep talking. I don't believe what you're saying. But I was this kind of very direct person, very blunt person, very expressive person in the way I want to express my thoughts. And some people thought that I was too forward. And over time, as I started getting older, I became a little more reserved. In my teenage years, I became more reserved. More, I don't need to tell you what I'm thinking. And so I started to journal. I'll write my questions down. And in the advent of internet, I'll ask some questions to internet and get some answers. Why the answer is always correct? Not necessarily. Yeah, so that's just how I kept on going on with my life. But I was very careful, always very careful of measuring myself by the standards of how I grew up. by the standards of, I cannot do this because of my background. I cannot do this because of the child of who I am. It's good. They always tell us when we're growing up, don't forget the child of who you are. It's a good thing. But as time goes on, it's better for you to express yourself. It's better for you to actually say what you think, so that if you need to be corrected, it will be easy for you to get the right help. And that's what I tell my kids nowadays. I tell them, feel free to express yourself. Say what you think. Don't pretend to be what you're not. Don't pretend to say what you don't mean. If you don't mean it, don't say it. Say what you mean. And you are free. You have the right to your thoughts. Nobody should judge you for the things that you think about. You have the right to your thoughts. Be yourself. Just be yourself. Just express yourself sincerely. And let anybody think whatever they want to think. That's what you thought. That's what you really are. Let people know where you are, so that they can give you the right help. So that people can know where you're coming from. They can know if you're sick. They can know if you're depressed. They can know if you need help. They can know if you're unhappy. They can know if you're feeling trapped. They can know if you're feeling stuck. So if you feel stuck, if you feel this, if you feel that, it's good to express yourself. Don't people Most times people are ashamed. We're ashamed of what people will think. We're ashamed of how people will perceive us. We're ashamed of how people will value us. You want to be enough for people. You want to be enough for others. But your value is not determined by what people think about you. I always love this passage of the Bible that says, I am wonderfully made. We can never be like, for the longest time, I wanted to be like a certain kind of person. But over time, as I've grown older, I realized that two people can never be the same. Even twins cannot be the same. You can never be like another person. Don't try to be, oh, I want to be quiet like that person, or I want to be like friendly like the other person. No, you can only be you. You can only be yourself. You can only be your person. You can only have your own. Nobody can come into your head and put thoughts. I mean, people can talk to you. People can say, their opinions, but they cannot help you to think. You have your own thoughts. And of course, we are a product of the 5 people that we move with all the time. That's why they say, show me your friend and I'll tell you who you are. So the kind of people that you keep, the kind of friendship that you keep could affect how you think, could also affect how you perceive life. So it's very important. But me, at that time, I know I explained myself too much. I overgave. Sometimes I'll go out of my way. I'll give you, I was that kind of person when I was on campus that I can give you almost all my things, all my food, and stay hungry and just eat cookies. I'll give you my food stuff and just stay hungry. Just keep eating cookies, junk, and all that. That was my person. Some people thought, oh, I wasn't too friendly, but I was just that reserved person that likes to watch. I enjoy watching people because I believe that you get to understand your environment, you get to understand people by watching them. Just watch, listen. Don't say much, just listen more and say less. It's very helpful. I believe that it was helpful, and that has helped me a lot. Watching people helped me a lot. And I'm this kind of person that I always kept showing up where I was sometimes barely appreciated, but I kept showing up. I'm this person that if I commit to doing something, even if every other person with whom we started the journey back out and they are no longer helping, just because I committed, I want to stay the course. Even if it's not helping me, even if it's taking too much from me, I always want to show up. I always want to show up, even to the detriment of my health. And since I don't like to express myself to tell you my pain, I just hated being vulnerable. That's one thing about me. I don't want you to pity me. I don't want you to tell me sorry. So because of that, I would hide my pain behind a smile. I'll hide my disappointment by not saying anything. I would, suck it up all the time. And I thought if I worked harder, if I loved deeper, if I care more, if I looked better, and maybe if I spoke softer, or even achieved more out of life, that people would validate me. And most especially was I really wanted to be validated by my dad. I did lots of things because I felt that I was always coming short to him, so I wanted to do everything to be validated by my dad. And that, of course, that grew into me going out of my way, trying to be perfect, doing everything that I could just to be, to tick all the boxes. But that made me really, really caged. I felt like I was in a cage, and it's a terrible place to be. But I learned something very important in my life. I learned that people cannot give you what they do not carry within themselves. Because you go out of your way, you do all of these things, and at the end of the day, you actually realize that no one is perfect after all. No one is perfect. Every single person has their own struggles. You think that I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna be perfect, I'm gonna, go over and beyond. It's good to go over and beyond. It's good to be good at what you do at work, especially. If you have a job to do your job very well because your work will speak for yourself. That one is not the same thing like, trying to get validation. It's just you being at your duty post and doing your best, because when you're not there, your work will speak for you. So doing your best is very good, because in this day and age, sometimes you might not be there when people will be assessing your work. So in your work, be your best. In your business, give your best, because that's what is going to help you in the long run. That one is, you cannot compromise on that. But people some people will misunderstand you. Just keep that in mind. Some people will misunderstand you because they have never taken the time to know you. They have never taken the time to understand, who is this person. They just assume who you are from what they've heard people say. They just assume who you are from maybe just the way you look, your appearance. A lot of people will judge you by the way you look. That's why, of course, they tell us to be your very best, dress your very best, appear your very best, because you don't know who is assessing you based on how you dress, how you appear. Yeah, so people always want to judge you. People always want to assess you. People always want to say this or that about you without really knowing the real you. But just know that, just be yourself. Over time, those that will stay in your life will stay in your life. Some people will even overlook you because they are distracted by their own lives. They have many things going on in their lives and they are distracted, so they just overlook you. And some people will only value you when they realize that they can no longer get access to you easily. Most times people want what they cannot get. So just keep building on yourself. A time will come when people will need to write appointments. People will need to book appointments to come and see you. At the end of the day, it's what you put in yourself that is going to show forth, that's going to open doors for you. So build on yourself. The day I understand all these things, I realize that I don't have to beg to be seen. I don't have to beg to be seen. And I just stopped shrinking myself. I stopped shrinking myself to fit into rooms. that God never called me into rooms that God never called me to stay in. And I came to a point where I stopped agreeing. I stopped agreeing with things that does not match my value. I stopped needing everyone to agree with me. Even if you don't agree with me, it will not stop me from trusting the direction that my life is going. With the help of God, I stopped waiting for applause. I don't wait for applause before I move forward. Whether people think it's good or bad, as long as I've prayed about it, as long as I have peace about it, I go on and I march forward with my life. Trust me, I can tell you for a fact that I came to realize that my value did not begin when people notice me. And it will not end when they stop noticing me. Whether people notice me or not, it does not stop my value. I just need to work on myself. I just need to build on myself. And I'm telling you too the same thing. Whether people notice you or they stop noticing you, it does not stop your value. Just keep building on yourself. Because me, I know that God already knows me. God already knew who I was. God already has got my back. And he has already called me. He has already chosen me. And if he has done that, why do I need everybody's approval? God has already called me. He already loves me. Before I even achieved anything out of life, God already loves me. Before I even did anything with my life, God already approved of me. He approved of me even when I had nothing. He approved of me even when I was nothing. Right from the womb of my mother, God had already carved a plan for my life. He already made a plan of what he wants to do with my life. As long as I'm able to align with his purpose for my life, that's the only thing that matters. And if you're a Christian, I would advise that you read your Bible, because in your Bible, you'll see a lot of things about what God says about you. He said, I know the thought that I think towards you, thought of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. And he said, even from my mother's womb, God knows me. So God knows you. He knows the amount of hair on your head. He knows how many hair, strands of hair that you have. That's how much God knows you. He knows every nook and cranny of your body. He knows everything about how you think. He knows everything about your future. He knows everything about your past. So just commit yourself to God. As long as God approves of you, you have a place on this earth. No one has figured it all out. No one has it all mapped out. Everyone is just learning as they go. So why not? If you want to start a YouTube channel, feel free to go ahead. Start it. Your voice is also important. Your voice is needed in this world. People want to hear your story. People want to hear what you have to say. People want to learn from your experience. Trust me, someone is going through your experience right now and is stuck and is feeling like he's alone. And they just need you to share your story with them and to share how you struggle, but you're still keeping your head up high. And that's going to help that person that is feeling trapped, that is feeling discouraged, that is feeling that their voice does not matter. One thing I've learned is that I might not be everyone's choice, and that is okay. Everyone cannot like you. Everyone cannot keep you as a best friend, and that's okay. I no longer chase validation. I don't try to be validated by the whole host of people. And I was telling someone yesterday that the lesser friends I have right now, the easier my life got. My life has got so easy because I don't have too many friends, too many people to please, too many people to call. Generally, I'm a bad caller. So I'm this kind of person that doesn't bother if you don't call me. If you don't call me, it's fine because I know I don't call people or I hardly call people. So if you text me, I'll respond. So I'm more, I don't know, I don't even know why I have my phone plan because I'm paying so much and I'm not even calling so much. I don't think I'm using it as much as I ought to. But I'm not a good caller, so if people don't call me, it's okay. I can text you, you text me back, we text each other. I'm fine with it because, if you see a text, you can easily respond, as soon as you have time. But a call, sometimes I'm at work, and in my work, I talk to people, and my work is time sensitive. I have to work at a certain time, and if I don't do it, I miss that time of the day, and my work lags behind. So sometimes it's so hard for me to call. Hi, Carson Traveres. Hi. So I'm fine if you don't call me. I would rather nowadays I'm just okay when we see each other. I say hi to you, and I am sincerely at peace. I'm choosing peace now. I'm choosing peace over chaos. I'm choosing purpose. I'm choosing the approval of God over the approval of anyone. I'd rather choose God over anyone. As long as God approves of it, I'm good with it. I don't mind. I'm just I'm just happy with where I am. I've not gotten to everywhere that I want in life. I don't think that I have everything that I need out of life, but I'm happy with how I'm moving. Some days I'm not very happy because I feel that I'm struggling. Some other days, when I remember that gratitude is the most important thing, and I'm just grateful for the life that God has given to me. And I'm just in that spirit of gratitude. I'm less unhappy. I feel less down because I remember to count my blessings. There's this song that says, count your blessings, name them one by one, and it will surprise you what the Lord has done. So if you remember to count your blessings, if you remember to say, even if I don't have so much money, I have a roof over my head. Even if I don't have so much money, I have a car that I drive around and I have money to put gas in my car. Even if I don't have all the big designers, I have a bag that I can carry. I can see. I have clothes that I put on. It doesn't have to be big designers. As long as I have clothes that I can wear. I have shoes on my feet. I have a family to love me. I have a few friends. And that's enough. I have a job. And I have food. That's enough. The basic things that a human being needs is food, shelter. So food, shelter, and it's the last thing, clothing. Food, shelter, and clothing. If you have food, if you have shelter, you have clothing, you have a job, you have more than enough. That's the most important thing that you have. You need that out of life. So don't chase after validation. Just live your life to please God and live a life that makes you happy. As long as you're happy with where you are, and if there's anything that needs improvement, you work on it little by little. No rush. Don't rush any process. Anything that you're doing and it's stressing you out is not the right thing to be doing. I mean, there's good stress and there's bad stress. Good stress is I'm studying my book for my exam and I'm a little bit stressed because I think I've not studied enough. That's good stress. Bad stress is you being put under pressure to buy maybe a $5 million house that you don't need. You need a house that you can afford. So focus on the good things in your life rather than focusing on the bad things that will make your life miserable and that you really don't need. That's my motto, and that has kept me enjoying. So yeah, you're not defined by what people think, but you are defined by what by the purpose, your own purpose, the purpose that you're pursuing. So that's it. Stayed here for almost half an hour. We've talked and chatted. I think it's time for me to now go. I have some tests to do. I'm just gonna go. It's a beautiful day. I have a lot of things to do. I have my course, I have a class to take. I have a couple of things that I have to do absolutely. And I hope to be able to do a good portion of them today. And I hope that I feel a little bit much better, at least by tomorrow, so I can be my normal self. Yeah, that's it. Let me know where you're connecting from. I'm connecting from Canada. The weather is better. It's summer. There's some mosquitoes around. It rained this morning. The weather is quite bright. Let me see. You can open this place. You can see. See? Yay! There's a lot of sun. The sky is blue. So it's just, I just feel blessed, and I'm grateful to God for everything. I'm working on my business. I have a black soap that I sell. I put it on my other channel because I don't want to mix things up here. My other channel is called Kems Natural. So I talk about hair, I talk about skincare, and I'm trying to build my website. So I have a lot of things that I'm doing, and I'm wondering if I want to stay in this. I have some products that I need to sell off. African black soap and shea butter. I can make body lotions and hair oils and all those things. So I just need to put my mind together and decide which of the products. I want to start with just 3 products mainly, and maybe advertise it and see how much I can sell. My products are very simple, very nice. That's what I use on my skin. It's been very helpful. I know the times when I used to struggle with a lot of products on my skin, but I stopped that. I just focus on African black soap as my body wash, and then I go ahead and use my own lotion that I make on my face. I used to put shea butter on my face, but I think it was too much for my skin, because my skin is mixed up. It can be, acne prone, and to avoid that, lighter things are better for my skin. So I use that and I put my sunscreen, and that's it. I'm out. I don't put so much on my skin, and that has been very helpful. I feel much more lighter when I stopped using all those skincare products. So I have these products that I need to sell, but I need to find someone, or I need to discipline myself to focus. There's so many things that I'm doing, so many things that I have to do. And sometimes too many things can make you very confused and can make you feel lost quickly. You get lost when you do too many things at the same time. And that's why I love to listen to creators who advise you to just focus on just one product. Don't sell too many things. Don't do too many things at the same time, because the more things you do, the easier you get lost, because you're all over the place and you're nowhere, because you do little here, little there, little there, little here, little there, and before you know it, you spread yourself too thin. But it's easy to just focus on maybe one thing at a time, stay with it, see how it's going, and then you can easily pivot to do other things. And that's something that I'm trying to learn, how to stay on one thing, get it right before moving to the next thing. So help me God. We'll see how it goes. Thank you all for connecting. If you have not yet subscribed, do well to subscribe and join the community. And let me know what you want me to talk about in the next video. I'll try to do more of these lives. Just go and pop my phone up and go on live. I just don't like how this thing is doing. Sometimes I want it to be vertical, and I want it to be horizontal, and it to go vertical, and it can be confusing. Anyways, thank you so much for connecting, and have a beautiful day. I need to drive off now. See you next time. Bye.